I wonder who wrote the book of love? Tell me, who wrote the book of love?
Yeah, baby, it's Velocity Live. It is July 8th. That was a very boring tag, my friend.
I didn't choke on it, though.
I know. Not like last week. I'm your host, Paul Verderosa. Welcome to Velocity Live tonight. We're in the house, July 8th, 2005. John's already told you that, on a night where the Ducks got rained out tonight. So we're getting started on time, and that's great news for a lot of people tonight. They didn't want to see the Ducks lose again.
Oh.
Sitting on my left, the man who brought you that lovely tagline, the fountain of information, a great writer, and a great man. Big John Mulaney, good evening to you, sir.
What's going on?
How are you?
Oh, I'm all right.
Made it here okay tonight?
Yeah, I didn't scare too many people on the train this week.
Don't even joke like that. Between the weather and the situation going on in this world.
You know me, I couldn't keep my mouth shut.
God only knows what you did on that train. We'll have to find out a little later on. On my right. She's smiling. She's always smiling. She's looking good. She's looking cute. She's here once again like she is every week. The beautiful, the talented Carrie Dillon. Good evening to you, sweetheart. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Doing very well. Ready to get the show started?
Of course. I'm always ready, you know that.
And on the other side of the glass, working the music, getting the guests settled in, the multi-talented, the man of few words, as our listeners like to say, Dan the Man Moore. Dan, good evening to you, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Yeah.
Good. You had a late night tonight, no Ducks?
Yeah, except I had to go on. The Ducks were supposed to go on and say it was rained out.
You could have grabbed somebody else in the building, like me or somebody else. We would have did it.
Yeah, but, you know, I had to act like an idiot, so.
Oh, come on. Dan put on that fake radio voice, too, and he's like, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's game against the Nashua, what are they called?
Nashua Pride.
The Nashua Pride has been canceled due to inclement weather.
Yeah, I didn't word that myself. It was given to me exactly what to say.
And it's funny because I was here when Dan got that call, and Dan actually read that word for word, verbatim. He wrote it out and read it. And he was getting a little nervous, too, because I was in another studio, and I saw Dan, like, glancing over with the nervous smile as the clock neared closer to the start of the Ducks game.
Yeah, because, you know, I've been on air, like, at college radio, but that's not really, well, and here, too, but it's not really what I do.
Wow.
I completely forgot I was on air right now.
Yeah, I bet. All right.
Well, thanks, Dan.
Yeah. Make us sound unimportant in what we do. Thank you, Dan. Shut your mic off now.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, very good. All right, we got a big show tonight, and I want to get started right away and jump in. We have a lot of stuff to get to, and we've got a really special guest on our line tonight. We talked about her a few weeks ago, and I did some research on her, gave her a call, and she was great enough to come on the show. So if you're serious about finding love, Janice Spindell can help. Janice is a matchmaker extraordinaire with more than 700 marriages and over 1,000, I just read this the other day, over 1,000 plus, and I hope I'm right on this, long-term committed relationships to her credit. She's also the author of Get Serious About Getting Married, 365 Proven Ways to Find Love in Less Than a Year. Janice joins us live here on Velocity. Good evening, Janice. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Paul. Thanks for having me on.
How's everything going tonight?
Good. It's 716 as of 2 Saturday nights ago, to be exact, and 1,001 in committed relationships. But who's counting?
You know, that's...
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That strikes me very funny. I got to ask you, though. It's a great statistic, but how many of them are still together, marriage-wise?
Every one of them.
You're kidding.
Oh, God.
No, I'm not, and everybody asks me that because with the divorce rate and the statistics, 1 out of every 2 get divorced. I guess I lucked out because, to my knowledge, and I would think that I would be the first phone call if they ever got divorced, every one of them are together.
That's amazing. That's a credit to you. That really is. Now, you have a real interesting story in that you didn't start off as a matchmaker, right?
No, not even close.
So give us and our listeners a little background on yourself and how you got started in the matchmaking field.
Well, I'm a people person and always have been, and ever since I was 9 years old, I would talk to everybody, anywhere, any place, any time. My background is basically modeling, believe it or not, and fashion for 15 years.
Wow.
And I was always picking people up wherever I went. I traveled around the world for business, and I I was always talking to good-looking men and pretty women sort of
Gotta hook me
everywhere
up.
and anywhere.
Doing a lot of networking.
Absolutely. And I started introducing them based on who I think would work together. And 14 couples got married the first year, and that's sort of when I looked at my husband and looked at the phone and decided that a matchmaker was born.
That's amazing.
Wow.
What are your matchmaking services about?
Well, it's very interesting because the way that I do my matchmaking is I have a sixth sense, and I know it sounds really corny and whatever, I am clairvoyant. I get very, very strong visions and premonitions, and they happen at the weirdest times. A couple weeks ago, I had to go to Washington for the day, and I took a train there and back, and I was working, of course, both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And on the way back, I had two wicked visions of who should be with whom. And needless to say, I called the guys immediately and told them, and I called the women and left emergency messages for them to call me back, and thank you very much. Both of them are smitten beyond belief.
That's great.
Oh, man.
Is out tonight for their fourth date, and their dates are basically ranging between 12 and 18 hours, and he thinks this is one.
Man.
It's really very unique. I have a very boutique-y type of a business where I'm very, 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 very selective in who I pick and choose to work with.
And I was just going to ask you, who are most of your clientele? Where do they come from? What are their backgrounds?
All my clients are men.
Okay.
And they're very high profile, well educated, well groomed, upscale, professional, high net worth, sort of power elite type of men that are very busy working. A lot of Wall Street guys.
A lot of professionals.
Absolutely. Investment bankers, doctors, lawyers, CEOs, real estate developers, entrepreneurial men that are just too busy and they want perfection and they want me to do the editing for them. They don't have time for blind dates. And with me, it's not about blind dates. It's more about potential wives.
It's about finding that right match.
Yes, because basically by the third introduction, at the utmost maximum by the sixth introduction, they're usually done.
Wow.
My track record is the first, second, or third introduction within a very short period of time, they're in a relationship that they're pursuing, that they put their membership on freeze, and they usually end up with her.
That's amazing. For those of you just tuning in, you're listening to Velocity Live here on Island Talk, 540 AM, WLIE, and on WLIE.com. Janice Spindell, matchmaker extraordinaire and author of Get Serious About Getting Married, is our guest. And Kerry, you wanted to say something?
I have a question. If all your clients are male, where do you find the women from? Like, where do you find the women?
Well, I would say on an average, I've been doing this for about 13 years, actually this month. And on an average, I receive somewhere between 12 and 1,800 calls a week from women to my office who go through a screening process. And after they've been screened, they have to set up an interview with either one of my executive assistants or myself. Mm-hmm. And that allows them just to see if, and only if, they qualify to be put into my database to be introduced to the men that retain me.
What is the age range for most of these clients that you speak of?
Well, believe it or not, I run the gamut. I mean, I have men that are 27 and 28, and I have a man who is 69, and I just got a call, believe it or not, from a man who's 86. I would say the bulk of the men are in their 30s and 40s.
And if you don't mind us asking, how many do you keep? I mean, how big is your clientele?
Not big. I mean, I'm very, very boutique-y. It's not about mass market. It's about
quality over quantity.
Quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a dinner at my home out in the Hamptons last Saturday night for my clients, and I had 60 people. And I can't begin to tell you the matches that were made the fireworks that was going on here were beyond any imaginable doubt.
That's unbelievable.
I'm very, very, very small and very boutique-y. I refuse more people than I take. I deal with men from all over the country, and it's just a very specific type of a guy who really is committed to make an investment in himself to get married, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get him married.
Janice, walk us through a little bit. You touched on it briefly just a second ago. What's the process to get men started, to get in contact with you? What process must they go through?
Well, the first thing that they need to do is to call my office.
Okay.
And after they call my office, they'll get screened through one of my senior staff, and then they have to set up a simulated date with me, which basically means going out for lunch or dinner so I can get a feel for who they are, the restaurant they pick, how they treat me, how they treat a waiter, what are their manners like, the whole 9 yards. And also listen in a very relaxed atmosphere to what they're looking for. And I get more information out of them when I am on a quote-unquote simulated date with them than you could ever get in 3 months. And they don't even remember that they're telling me all of the stuff that I'm asking.
It's just that much of a comfortable atmosphere.
Absolutely. I've been told that I am very easy to talk to, and sometimes a little TMI, too much information. But that's the first process. And then, obviously, assuming that they go forward and that I do accept them, first thing I do is a background check on them. Then I go to their homes and I do a home visit so I can see that they live where they say they live and they are who they say they are and the whole 9 yards. And also see what they're living like. Are they living in a bed on a floor? Or are they living in some big, huge home? Are they neat? Are they anal? Are they sloppy? What am I up against here?
Right.
Because it really allows me to feel what they're really like, and that gets me closer to the perfect match. I also ask to see pictures of ex-girlfriends, ex-wives, whoever, whatever.
Right.
Wow.
To get a visual, and then we start the process.
Wow. And in the book, Get Serious About Getting Married, you give out some tips for finding the mate, and you brought up 3 tips, which I found very interesting. I just wanted to run through them quickly before we let you go. One of them was turn on your inner light. Explain that a little bit.
Well, most people are really not available. They're not emotionally available. When they're walking around, when they're going to any social event or social gathering or a blind date or anything, they're really not available. They think they are, but their light's not on.
Right.
It's sort of like, how do you know in New York or in any city when a taxi cab is available? Their light is on.
Exactly.
So your light has to be on. You have to be emotionally available. And the most important, you have to be approachable in order for people to approach you.
Right.
Lose the playbook was another point, which I found interesting.
Men that come to me
Yes.
cannot be a little boy in a candy store with a sweet tooth. They have to be really looking for a committed, monogamous relationship. They're making a rather substantial investment in themselves. This is not about dating. I'm not a dating service.
Yeah,
I'm a matchmaker.
Yeah, you're not looking for any players.
No, I get people married. And you know what? Players really don't come to me because people come to me that really want to get involved in a serious relationship to get married.
And this point I thought was very, very important. And it was plan for the future but live in the present when it comes to relationships.
Well, because one of the biggest things that I talk about in the book is don't talk about anything X. I can't begin to tell you. As a matter of fact, at the party last Saturday night, I was obviously working the room to a point where I was dizzy. I walked around so many times introducing people, and I had a very famous guy in from California, and I heard him talking to a woman, and I overheard him talking about his ex-girlfriend, and he was going on and on and on. And I stopped dead in my tracks, and I said, you need to read my book. Why are you talking about an ex-girlfriend when you just met this girl? It's not necessary for you to talk about ex-girlfriends and past relationships. This is the present. You're going into the future. Why would you be talking about something in the past?
That is so true. I find myself guilty of that every once in a while, too.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
And the worst thing that people can do, with all the online sites right now, with Match.com and JDate and all of the other ones, people go out on droves of dates. The worst thing you could possibly do as a woman, or for that matter as a man, but mostly women do it, is you sit down on a date for a drink, and the first thing you say is, oh, this must be my 311th date. Oh, great. I'm sitting with a woman who's gone out on 311 dates and she's still here. Guys don't want to hear that.
That's true. That's very true.
And everybody does it.
That's something I learned from reading some of that book, I have to tell you.
Got to stay away from the I, me, mine.
Yes, that is very true. And before we do let you go, what is the one piece of advice that you could share with everyone out there who's single and might be struggling, male or female?
Well, the first thing they should do is immediately go to my website, click on the home page to get a book. They'll have it in 24 hours because I have to tell you something. If you really are serious about finding a committed relationship and getting married, That book took 4 years to write, and it's 12 and a half years of knowledge, of listening to what men want and what women need, and all those thoughts are down on paper. So the first thing you should do is complete my book, be emotionally available, know what you want, get your non-negotiables together, lose the list, and then go out there and make it your mission to get married and find somebody, and you will.
And the stats are there. Janice Spindell, the book is called Get Serious About Getting Married, 365 Proven Ways to Find Love in Less Than a Year. Janice's website is JaniceSpindell.com.
Janice Spindell, Matchmaker.
Matchmaker.com, excuse me. Thank you, John. Thank you, Janice.
Janis.
Yes, Janis. Janice Spindell Serious Matchmaking. I can't talk. Janice Spindell Serious Matchmaking. 212-987-1582. The number again, 212-987-1582. Janice, thank you for your time here on Velocity, and hopefully we'll get you back on again.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Janice. We're coming
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. We are coming up on a break here on Velocity Live here on Island Talk, 540 AM, WLIE, and on WLIE.com. Velocity returns on the other side of the break.
Hi, this is Carrie Dillon, and you're listening to the best of Velocity Live on VelocityLive.com.
You are listening to Velocity Live here on Island Talk, 540 AM, WLIE, and on WLIE.com. Welcome back. Paul Verderosa, John Mulaney, Carrie Dillon. And thanks once again to Janice Spindell for joining us during our first segment. There's a lot of information to learn from that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
It's got a really good success rate, too. Success rate speaks for itself, but I guess having that clientele also helps.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
It's definitely better than pulling people off the street that are looking for some of those things. I visited some of those dating sites, too. They're hysterical.
Yeah, well, those are just dating sites. Like she said, she doesn't do dating at all.
This is more hardcore. This is like we're looking for a marriage.
Basically,
Tom Cruise and Katie
I'm a Forbes 500 guy. Find me a wife worthy of marrying me.
That's right. So I really didn't get to it before. 955-5400, 516 or 631. Velocity LR put you in touch with us in the studio tonight. We have a lot that we have to get to. Remember, give us a call. Let us know what you're thinking tonight about the stuff we talk about and what's going on. And we do have a lot still to come this hour, including the votes are in for the top 20 greatest American rock bands of all time.
Oh, boy.
And you could just imagine what that looks like, especially considering the source, which we'll get to in just a few minutes. And we'll talk about Little Kim and her plight, which me and John have big disagreements on, but that's besides the point. Dancing with the Stars finale, by the way. Thank you very much. All the listeners voted for the winner. I'm not going to say who it is, but they probably know by now. And we'll talk about MTV's fiasco and total mess and botch of the Live 8 concert.
Oh, they killed that.
From last week, and we'll get into that a little bit more. And Carrie's got news and entertainment buzz coming up. But first, this past week was 4th of July, as we all know. And did everybody have a good 4th of July?
My fingers are still on my hands.
How about you, darling?
It was all right.
Mine wasn't too bad. My Sunday was when we had everybody over, so.
I blew up Central Baldwin.
Figures. John's out there with fireworks and mortars and smoke bombs and.
It's been a couple hours and about 500 blockbusters. I don't know.
I bet none of us had as much fun, as O.J. Simpson, though.
Oh, Mr. Miami.
Mr. Miami. O.J. was having a big party at his house, and apparently the police had to be called in.
Why?
Well, a neighbor went to O.J. Simpson's house on 4th of July to perform a favor, and he ended up having to call police because of a fight. The police came down, and no one was arrested. There's no charge filed. Apparently, Simpson was at his suburban Miami home with his girlfriend, Christy Prodi, and he asked the neighbor, this guy Steve Dockendorf, great last name, to come over and jumpstart Prodi's car, his girlfriend's car, because evidently, I guess the battery died or the car happened. And Dockendorf said he summoned the police because Prodi started beating on him and Simpson.
She beat them both up?
She beat them both up. And the line that got me is which shows you how much that this guy is actually thinking. Like, he's got to be a total dolt. Total nincompoop. The neighbor said...
That's the word for the day.
Oh, my God.
It is oldies night.
Say that again for the rest of your life. I think I'd die a happy woman.
It is oldies night tonight. You have to use the old words. I figured if I called police, at least Simpson would have a record of the disturbance. He should have had it when he had Nicole.
Oh, my God.
Here's a guy who we all know killed his wife and the other guy. And the neighbor's worried about the...
Too much. I think just living next to OJ's bad news.
I tell you. And the neighbor said that
girlfriend
Proddy
is stupid.
and Simpson were arguing when he arrived. He said Proddy took a bottle of vodka from Simpson and started to leave. When Simpson went to take it back, she lunged at him. Of course, you're taking away the girl's drink.
Wait my leg. Get out of here.
It's 4th of July, man. She was just trying to get happy. She ripped he ripped the necklace from her neck, which is so OJ because he likes to go for the throat and the neck area, so that's showing a pattern. And then she attacked the both of them.
I want to know what is a woman thinking about going out with O.J. Simpson, knowing his
I don't know.
past
I would
record?
never. That's what I was just thinking myself. Like, how could you be so stupid? How do you trust someone like that?
I mean, basically, isn't this like standing in a puddle of gasoline holding a lit match in your hand?
I would think so. I just don't understand it.
Oh my God! Did you guys hear that on? I think 4th of July too. Some guy blew up at a gas station.
Oh, I saw that.
I saw that.
That was great. It was excellent video. The guy actually got away. Just little scorched skin, burned some hair.
Yeah.
Oh, I
No,
thought he like died or something. I was
No,
like,
he didn't.
That's great, John. You're 1/6.
Fireworks were all over the place for 4th of July. It went from Baldwin to that gas station to O.J. Simpson's house in Miami.
Gee.
I just want. I guess I'll just never get past what was in her mind to be going out with O.J.
I don't know. We should maybe call her and see if we can get her as a guest in the coming weeks to see if she'll come on. I don't think many women would date O.J. Simpson.
I got a bottle of vodka. I'll go out with anybody.
Is she even like? What does she look like?
I've never seen a picture of her. Have you seen a picture of her?
No.
See if we
Is
can
she
pull that up on the web.
anything special? Like, is she?
Christy Proddy is her name. See if we can get that on the web.
Was she like a cheerleader or something?
I don't know.
She's probably like some bum off the streets.
Yeah,
or something.
she probably looks kind of haggard.
Probably didn't even know who he was. You know,
I don't know, but
that type of deal.
Dan, you would date OJ, right?
What?
No, I had to make sure you were awake still on the other side of the glass over there.
I haven't fallen asleep. I've still got to push buttons.
You are listening. Thank you, Dan. You are listening to Velocity Live here on 540 AM WLIE and on the web at WLIE.com. 516 or 631-955-5400. It puts you in touch with us tonight. And don't forget, if you're online, Velocity LR will put you in touch with us directly in the studio, thanks to AIM. Paul Verderosa, Kerry Dillon, John Mulaney. Dan's on the other side of the glass, looking all sexy, watching the NASCAR race over there.
It's not NASCAR.
It's ARCA. It's close enough. And we're hoping, too, it's almost 10:30. I'm hoping my grandmother's not asleep, and she'll call in, too, and give us the update on the first half hour of the show tonight as well from Exit 30. I told her we wanted this to be a weekly thing.
Yeah, she's got to make the weekly granny rating.
That's right. She's got to make the granny. 1 out of 2 grannies approve. If my other grandmother from the other exit were called, then I'd be really surprised.
From the other exit.
She's over on exit. She's over by exit 25. So if she called in, that would be
not the other town. The other exit.
The other exit. I don't want to use towns and names with
you could have just said from the other
with any of my callers. So
the other exit.
I know. I'm losing it.
Oh God.
Of all places, USA Today did a survey for the 20 greatest American rock bands ever. Who do you think was voted number 1? Now, don't forget, these are the readers from USA Today. This isn't like an MTV poll.
They probably picked like Pearl Jam or something. I have no idea.
I don't know.
Dan's thinking real hard over there. You have a guess?
You can't say Donovan.
I really just don't care.
Ouch.
It's like the Beatles or something.
If it doesn't go vroom vroom, Dan don't care.
Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam was picked.
Was voted number 1.
Wow.
Pearl Jam was voted number 1 of all time.
Oh, boy. And what was the average audience picking this, like 16 to 20?
They didn't list it. They did not list it. I'm glancing around, and they didn't list it.
Because I'll give you a big beef on my age group for that one.
And I got to tell you, listen to some of the other groups they outranked. I'll go through the top 10 really quickly. All right? Number 2, Aerosmith. I thought Aerosmith was better than Pearl Jam.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, there's no argument there. Van Halen was 3.
Okay.
I mean, that I could see. The Eagles was number 4, which I thought was a little too high.
I like the Eagles.
There's some of their songs that I like. Dan's shaking his head, yeah, over there. He's an Eagles fan. He likes A Little Hole in the World and some other songs that they put out there. Well, the Hotel California.
He likes Victim of Love.
Yeah, it's the longevity, too, with them, I think. Number 5 was Journey. I thought that was a little too high, too.
They were doing like a 14 or a 15.
Yeah, they've been around a long time, longer than I thought. It says over 30 years they've been around.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Steve Perry's been playing at this a long time.
I didn't realize it was that long. Guns N' Roses was 6. They could have been higher. You're not a Guns N' Roses fan, I take it.
Listen, Guns N' Roses only really had one album, and everything else was a copy of it.
I disagree. They had some
Appetite
good
for
stuff.
Destruction was a fantastic album. Lies and the other two albums, they basically were just rehashes.
Yeah, 7 was the Grateful Dead. I wasn't a big Deadhead fan. It was before my time.
Oh.
That was John's era. So give us a little bit of a...
I was not a big Deadhead.
No, you weren't digging that?
I liked the Dead, but I wasn't a Deadhead.
They created a big culture, too, didn't they, in society? Like, it was a big thing to be...
When I was 18, it was in.
See, I'm getting schooled now, because John was around then, so he's going to tell us what it was like to be a Deadhead. Tell us, Uncle Johnny, tell us.
Too many people were stoned and tripping on acid back then.
Oh, God.
Queen Schreier was number 8.
Queen?
No.
Queensryche.
Queensryche. I can't, every time I look at it. Yeah. Because I can't.
Who picked Queensryche as number 8? No way. That's horrible.
Well, I'll tell you why. It says some of the reasons why that it was picked. They've endured 25 years of changing rock scene. They still tour all the time, selling out all the time, putting out an unbelievable live show. If they're so unbelievable, how come I didn't know their goddamn name? I couldn't even say it right. I look like a total ass.
Yeah. I can't believe that like groups like Zeppelin or even
that was a good opportunity for somebody to jump on that joke.
Leonard
Thank
Skinner
you for
didn't
not.
jump up there.
Oh. Because you are, Paul.
Yeah, thank you. Number 9 was the Doors.
I've never even...
The Doors,
The Doors should be in the top 10
Jim
somewhere.
Morrison, 10 was R.E.M. John just choked on his beverage. Dan's laughing hysterical.
Oh, there was no validity in this test. Who did this? What magazine this come out of?
This came out of USA Today.
I got to email them tomorrow. This is just
John's on a big letter writing campaign.
Yep.
He's turned into my mother now.
What else have you written letters for?
Oh, I've been writing letters like mad, especially to Newsday over the fact that, they got this picture of the 7-year-old girl who was killed by that madman drunk. But they've forgotten the fact there was a 59-year-old guy driving the limo who was killed, too. Yeah,
John's on an angry letter-writing tear. He's been on this tear now. He's got it in for the people at Newsday, so don't expect any sponsorship from them. Yeah. And quickly, let me just go through the rest of these. There were 20 on the list. 11 I thought should have been higher. They tied. The Allman Brothers and Fleetwood Mac.
Allman.
The Allman Brothers.
God.
The Allman Brothers should have been like...
I'm not here.
The Allman Brothers should have been like at least number 4.
At least Jessica and Whipping Post and Rambling Man, and at least I know their songs. I just can't say their names tonight. Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks, yeah. Give or take. Metallica was 12.
Oh God. Okay. I've heard enough.
Kiss was 13. Kiss was 13 with Gene Simmons.
Well, I can't complain. I was a real Kiss fanatic growing up.
A group I personally hated, the Ramones, was 14.
Wow, this is a bad list.
15 was... These two tied. This I thought was totally pathetic. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band was 15 as the Great American Rock Band, and they tied with CCR.
Oh.
CCR!
I've heard it all now. I'm definitely writing USA a letter tomorrow.
Dave Matthews Band and Leonard Skinner tied for 16th.
Okay.
The Beach Boys was 17th, which unless they were singing I Want to Go Home, I didn't want to hear anything from them because they were horrible.
This is what MTV has done to this planet, man.
Nirvana was 18. The Replacements were 19.
Who the hell are they? I thought that was a movie about football players.
I have no idea.
Okay, what's 20?
And 20 was Bon Jovi.
Oh. I like Bon Jovi.
So of all things, 20 turned out to be Bon Jovi. So those were your top 20. We're running up against a break. You're listening to Velocity Live here on Island Talk, 540 AM, WLIE, and on WLIE.com. Paul Verderosa, John Mulaney, Kerry Dillon. We'll be back with more on the other side of the break.
Hi, this is John Mulaney, and you're listening to the best of Velocity Live on VelocityLive.com.
Here's my story, it's sad but true. It's about a girl that I once knew. She took my love, then ran around with every single guy in town.
Yeah, welcome back to Velocity Live here on Island Talk, 540 AM, WLIE, and on WLIE.com. Paul Verderosa, John Mulaney, Kerry Dillon, Dan on the other side of the glass, and a little runaround, Sue. That's all I wanted before Jack went off. You know that. Turn it up! Come on, Dan. You know you want to dance, brother. Come on.
I I don't dance.
White man's disease. You said yes.
Yeah, all right, bring it down. So, I'm glad all of the Velocity Live listeners listened to me last week because Kelly Monaco, in a stunning upset of epic proportions to everyone in this country but me, won Dancing with the Stars. You saw it, didn't you?
I did not.
You didn't watch the finale?
No, sorry.
I didn't watch it either.
Dan, I know you didn't watch it. There's no way you're watching Dancing with the Stars, right?
Again, negative.
Why even bother asking her?
Because she's hot. I figured you'd at least want to look at her.
No.
Is that what this world has come to?
No, she was a pretty good dancer,
Thanks.
too, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Whatever.
Her and her professional partner, too. A guy named Alex Mazzo.
Yep.
As he rolls his eyes, kind of saying it like he's not.
Well, he wasn't important. Kelly was the big part of that
Jeez.
thing. And hopefully it's not the last one, because I really got into that show, actually, towards the end of it. So I'm hoping that this isn't the last. It was a really big hit, though, for ABC.
They did fantastic with it.
You know, and Kelly and her guy there, Alex, I'm going to have to talk about him, edged out the professional face-making comedian/actor John O'Hurley, who's a good actor.
He was a favorite. A lot of people liked him.
Yeah,
And
a lot of people
Charlotte Jorgensen, who was his dancing partner. They were considered the pair to beat, but Monaco and Mazzo scored the only series perfect 30 with their freestyle dance number on the way to winning the competition.
I heard that they were pretty much out of it until the very last dance when they scored a perfect dance.
Yeah, she was rocking.
So everyone gave them a 10?
Yeah, 10, 10, 10. It's the three judges.
Oh, wow.
So it's almost like, except they score them.
It was like any kind of dancing?
It was freestyle for them, yeah. It was freestyle dance number. It was the last one.
Right, so it was like, oh, okay.
I'm not a big dance guy. I just watch it, you know, for the sake of watching. She's trying to figure out what it is. No, it was... Okay.
Because they said O'Hurley and Jorgensen pretty much had it wrapped up. It was theirs. And then the last dance came along and everything changed.
Yeah. So, and they had the surprise hit of the summer. And it was an unlikely number one. And it stood up there for about 4 weeks, too. 4 of the 6 weeks while it ran on ABC.
Yep.
Jeez. It's because it's so different from anything else that's on air.
I know. It's not any kind of... It's so different from the other reality shows and the other shows that are out there and on there.
Everyone's living together like Real World and Big Brother. That's coming back now.
Yes.
Although that's a big hit, too.
I never watched Big Brother.
My mom watches it all the time. She's like obsessed.
And all the time it was on,
But
never saw
everyone
Big
likes
Brother. Never saw it. Did you ever watch it?
It's all that catty, petty crap.
Never watched it at all. And the best part of this is, who would have thought bringing in second or third rate celebrities would bring back a type of dancing that's been lost like on PBS for years?
Yeah. Well, I can't help it. I watched the old ballroom dancing there.
I took a class. Did I tell you guys this?
I think you might have mentioned it once
like
on the air.
Losers of America.
Oh, this must have been a college course.
It was.
It's a way to cop a feel with the cute girls on campus that want to learn how to dance.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I think we did talk about this.
I can't
It's ridiculous.
I
oh my God, the guy smells so bad.
I can see John sitting on his couch, getting into the ballroom dance and watching that. You must be light on your feet there, brother.
Yeah, listen, for a big guy I am.
Ooh, we got to see you dance one night.
Oh, I don't know.
We definitely got to come in and watch you dance one night. That would be a lot of fun.
What, you dance?
No. I've thought about it in the past. I had one girlfriend, we had discussed it seriously about doing ballroom dancing.
Oh, how funny would that have been?
We've discussed it seriously. Dancing.
Listen, I had that dreaded white man's disease. I definitely got 10 left toes and no rap feeling.
Oh God.
There ain't no thump in my
Well, you should have
system.
seen my professor, right? He was.
He
But he taught us, He taught us, so I guess he could learn,
I just don't have an interest in ballroom dancing. I'll dance, but not ballroom dancing.
What about like when you go to weddings and stuff?
Yeah, it's slow dancing. You don't see too much ballroom dancing going on.
Yeah, but
the next
what
wedding,
do you consider ballroom dancing?
like you saw on Dancing with the Stars. I mean, when they're grabbing each other and
watch
merenguing and salsering all over the floor and tangoing
at weddings you can do that stuff. There's all different. It's weird how when you put on the music and stuff. It's weird which dances you can actually do to them.
It depends on
technical dances.
It depends on what DJs you get out here. If these Long Island parties, you end up with hands up and hot, hot, hot. You start dancing around to that. You know the beat. You know that feeling.
Oh my God! And the chicken dance.
And the chicken dance.
Oh.
Oh God! And speaking of white man's disease, I think MTV's vice president had the white man's disease when they aired the Live 8 concert this past weekend. Did anybody watch that? By any chance?
I had to turn it off because within 20 minutes they must have done 75 commercials.
I have to tell you, the harsh criticism and the soft ratings, for the Live 8 concert, MTV executives acknowledged missteps, mishandling in their broadcast of last weekend's concert, and admitted that they're going to tomorrow night, or actually tomorrow for 10 hours. I shouldn't say tomorrow night. Runs from the day into the night. They've edited the original broadcast, and they're going to re-air it. It's going to be on tomorrow, which is July 9th, for 10 hours, starting at 10 a.m. on VH1. VH1's going to carry it from 10 to 3, and then MTV's going to carry it from 3 to 8 tomorrow night. And the ratings that came out this week show that the 8-hour live broadcast that aired on Saturday between the two networks only pulled in about 2.2 million viewers.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, the Disney Channel ran Toy Story 2, and it pulled more viewers than the Live 8 concert.
When did they air it the first time?
It was last Saturday.
It was last Saturday, yeah.
So I was thinking like Saturday maybe they'd get more, because people are home during the day and stuff.
They lost viewers to it. It was too soft. They screwed up. I mean, an act would start, they'd be blabbing right over the act. Then they go right to a commercial. They'd come back to the act.
Who was like broadcasting and stuff?
I don't know who they were. I turned it off. I was like, this is horrible.
That gives them a bad name.
The biggest complaint, really, from viewers on the concert was the frequent cuts out of musical moments to go to commercials. They would literally be in the middle of an act, and they would be like, oh, hey, we're cutting a break. Or, hey, let's go talk to somebody backstage. Some less compelling interviews and stuff going on backstage.
MTV should really think about changing their name. I mean, they haven't done music for 6 years.
Well, the vice president was funny.
Oh, Van Totler, whatever his name is.
It's so funny, Van Totler, this guy. He's so. I mean, hindsight is so 20/20 in this business.
What do you want? I mean, they're doing a show called Stanker Vision now. I mean, that's what's on MTV right now as we speak. With some guy called Yucko the Clown from Howard to Stern now has a show on MTV too.
Yeah,
called Stanker Vision.
And Stanker Vision. Yeah, and Van Toffler.
What does he do?
Go ahead. Do you want to touch? I've never seen it, so if you want to touch
he's
on
whacked
it.
out. Some kind of.
Or like losing deer.
It's a freaky. He does. According to what I read, he does like freaky fake news reports and stuff. This guy used to be on Howard Stern all the time. I don't remember him. Must be my period of not watching Stern or listening to him.
And knowing what he knew now, Van Toffler said he probably would have made the decision to go commercial free. Well, there you go. There's an ingenious idea.
A little late, The
Super Bowl and everything else goes, not the Super Bowl, but there's been some other events that go commercial free for very long periods of time.
I know. Commercials stink.
And AOL.
I mean, they fund everything.
Yeah, thanks. Just yell at the advertisers now.
No, I love the advertisers.
For all the hype that went into this should have been commercial free from the beginning. It should not have been questioned at all.
So annoying because when you finally get into something and there's a commercial, it's like, and then you forget what you're watching half the time.
Yeah, but it was in the middle of musical performances. That's what killed it. That's what killed it. And AOL, on the other hand, got a much better grade, of course, because they were online, so they just did one continuous stream on AOL Music. So
supposedly AOL is claiming it had like 18 million people.
They probably did. People probably tuned off of.
Yeah, I was reading this morning. I checked up on that, and it was something like 18 million people had tuned into AOL and did not go away.
Wow.
I would have rather listened to the concert on that than do anything else.
If I was MTV, I'd hang it up on that alone to know you were beaten out by an internet provider.
That's right. I would too. That's right. Absolutely. We're coming up to a break here on Velocity Live here on Island Talk 540 AM WLIE and on WLIE.com. And over the past few weeks, you definitely have gotten a chance to know this man's music we're about to play right now. That's right, none other than Velocity's good friend, Ciro DiLorenzo. Ciro's music can currently be heard here in the States and internationally on satellite radio. We're proud to have him aboard here with us on Velocity. If you'd like more information about Ciro and his CD, where you can purchase it, check out his website, or actually check out www.cdbaby.com, or check out our website, www. It's been a tough night. VelocityLive.com. Somebody explain this to me, please. What's going on with me?
If you go to VelocityLive.com and follow out the link, because it's not CDBaby.com, it's buried down like 3 layers deep on them.
Go to VelocityLive.com, click on the link. They're having a much better night than I am. I'm just going to shut my mic off. Here's Ciro DiLorenzo and Shake Your Body. Velocity returns with Carrie in the News and a story about real parental love. Next, on the other side of the break.
Oh, what a body. Shake, 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 shake your body. Shake, 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 shake your body. Shake, shake, shake with me. I wanna dance with you. I wanna see you shake all night. Baby, shake your body. Shake, 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 shake your body. Shake, 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 shake your body. Shake, 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 shake your body. Shake, shake, shake with me.
Hi, this is Dan Moore, and you're listening to the best of Velocity Live on VelocityLive.com.
You are listening to Velocity Live here on Island Talk, 540 AM, WLIE, and on WLIE.com. Paul Verderosic, Kerry Dillon, John Mulaney, Dan on the other side of the glass, and your phone calls at 955-5400. Grandma, you still got a little time. We're going off at 11:05. Let us know what you think of the show tonight, hanging out over there by Exit 30. But before I get to that parental love story and Kerry gets to her news, Richie from Massapequa, you're on with Velocity Live. What's going on tonight?
Yes, I'm calling up to yell at Terry Lynn Dillon.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Terry Lynn Dillon.
Yes.
Who taught you how to do ballroom dancing? The Lindy, the cha-cha, the foxtrot?
My Uncle Rich. He taught me when I was a little girl for Girl Scouts. He was my godfather, so he brought me to the father-daughter dances. Thank you for teaching me all the dance moves, Uncle Rich. He used to spin around.
He got an easy A in college for taking ballroom dancing. Because she knew it since she was a kid. And I've been dancing. I've been dancing since I was born, just about. And I was on Sonny Fox Wonderama when I was 13 years old in October with Sonny Fox and with my sister, and I was picking her up on my shoulder and everything. Did waltz, I did Lindy, and I lost my sight. I think I told you last week I lost my sight in a car accident when I was 13.
Yes.
And after that, I still went on stage, but I would never tell anybody because they wouldn't let me on stage because I was blind, you know. So I did it. We won CYO all of the Diocese of Rockville Center in Nassau County. We won. My sister and I won, and they said, "How did you do it?" Because they found out I was blind after that. I said, "Well, I did it, didn't I?"
There you go.
Just wanted to let you know,
Thank you,
don't have to watch your step to be a good dancer. Remember that. You don't have to watch your step to be a good dancer.
There you go. We're glad that you taught her. We're glad that you're listening. So keep on listening.
Okay, and make sure she tells what's going on in the world, you know?
We will. We're going to get to it in just a few seconds.
Okay.
All right, take care.
Take care, Paul.
Good night.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Good night.
And before I get to the parental love story again, speaking of parental love, my grandparental is on line 10.
Oh, look, you drummed her up.
All the way. I drummed her out.
My parental didn't call
It's a great night, Grandma. The Mets win. And, hello?
Hello?
Oh, it's Grandpa.
Yeah, Grandma's devastated. The Mets blew the game.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
Don't tell me that. Did they really?
Yep. The pitching blew it.
Oh, that's why you're calling?
Yeah, she's devastated.
She's on suicide watch right now.
So she didn't listen to the show tonight then?
Oh, she was listening.
And what did she think?
The show, she says she likes it, but the only thing is you don't give the number out enough to call. You know, at our age, we can't get the pencil so fast. Write it down, you know.
They really did. I'm sorry. When I stopped watching the game, they were winning.
Yeah, they were winning 5-1.
Oh, this is terrible.
And you know.
This is terrible. That's because John put the Weather Channel on here in the studio.
Listen, you know, you forgot to say that, you know, about Grandma and I, how good we danced.
That's right.
The Lindy and all that.
That's right. We actually have video of them on the dance floor going around.
We should have a little dance off in the studio.
I think we need to have a dance competition
this desk over here
in the coming few weeks.
Listen, you guys, the show's pretty good. The only thing I wanted to ask also was with that marriage thing with that book and all that and that woman.
Yes.
What is her fee? I'd like to know because I want to try it.
Oh, I thought you were happily married.
Well, after 47 years, you got to change a little bit.
I thought that's why you had cousin Carol Ann's mom.
Ooh.
Little inside family joke.
That was on the DL.
We'll talk after the show about her fees.
All right, wait a minute. Grandma wants to say something.
All right, hurry up quickly.
You guys are great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Grandpa. I didn't, Dan, I can't even read tonight. It said Grandpa, and I keep going Grandma.
Keep your mouth shut for 2 minutes.
I'm telling you. So you're devastated.
Right? Yep, they blew the game. That's what killed them.
This is a diehard Met fan, too, on the phone, too.
Up until the 9th inning, they're 5-1, and then the idiots blow it in the 10th.
See?
Right?
This is. We should put you on Sports Trinity. Spanky's working the show. Maybe we can get Grandma on as a Mets broadcaster.
They'll throw me off.
All right, so quickly, Grandpa gave us...
the show's very good. I enjoy you guys. The only thing I say is, Kerry, speak up a little, honey. Don't let them overrule you.
Okay.
There you go. Look at that. Grandma's sticking up for Kerry.
Grandma.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Love you. And
love you too.
Care.
All right, good night.
Okay, I had to say hello because I didn't want you to think the Mets were more important than you.
That's why we just knew you were mad.
Okay.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, baby.
All right, goodbye. Bye. That's Grandma from over on Exit 30 and Grandpa. And Dan, I'm sorry you wrote clear as day, Grandpa, and my head's not here tonight, and I'm just sorry about that.
Okay, whatever.
I can't read, I can't talk, but I look at this beautiful girl on my right and I say, Carrie, my love, what's in the news?
All right, well, Pink isn't that shy, and maybe the latest Hollywood fad or just another one of her unique, untraditional, non-traditional ways of doing things, but she recently popped the question to boyfriend of almost 4 years, Carrie Hart. Pink reportedly held up signs that said, "Will you marry me?" and "I'm serious," during a motocross race in Mammoth Lakes, California. He apparently saw the signs and immediately pulled off the track to accept her proposal.
Wait a minute, he was a driver?
He was driving. He was racing.
He does
and
motocross
he
racing.
off. Yeah.
Oh my God, he's in the middle of a race and she's holding up signs?
Yeah, she wrote it, yeah.
Oh my God.
On signs. How romantic.
Right? She wrote it on the pickboard and the guy stopped away. He was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, after Corey Clark cried of a scandalous affair with Paula Abdul, Idol viewers had wondered if she'd be back for another season. Us Magazine had the inside and reports that she will be back for another amazing experience with Simon, Randy, and all those talented young people, or at least they think so. Also in American Idol news, Ryan Seacrest is apparently a top prospect for replacing Howard Stern on E!, hoping that his top-rated KIIS-FM LA radio show will be a televised hit. We'll have to wait and see.
I used to watch Stern, too. I might watch Seacrest. I actually liked him when he was on that Fox 5 little thing that he had going on for the hour.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it was like Ryan Seacrest Live or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what it was called or something. But it was just on at a bad time. It was on at like 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
or something.
really
But
weird.
I actually know it's called On Air.
Thank you, Dan! Dan the man. Knew that.
Wow.
I used to watch that. It was called
I'm
On Air with Ryan
impressed,
Seacrest.
Dan.
So am I. That blew me away.
Hey.
He laughed when my headset hit the microphone here, but
I got attacked by a microphone on Sunday night. This microphone attacked me.
God,
So.
it's just a bad night all around. Go ahead, Carrie.
Hardcore. And rumors have blossomed that Ashley Simpson has been recording a song on her new album called I Don't Want Your Boyfriend.
God help us all.
Oh, boy.
He says though Simpson had been getting a little closer to Lindsay Lohan's ex, Valderrama, and things have been a little saucy between the two. Reps cannot confirm the allegation because the CD is still a work in progress. But Simpson has been recording a new album, so I guess we'll just have to wait to
I wonder how produced this is going to be.
I was going to say, making a CD for Ashley Simpson is like building the pyramids, especially when you can't sing.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
It's going to be like another... it's going to start up some trouble,
like
too,
the La La song.
Did
Sounded great
anybody-
until she had to sing it in public.
Didn't anybody learn from that petition that we all signed online to ban?
Oh, my God.
from
Yeah,
singing?
we talked about this another time. This is, like, so redundant.
It's a repeat.
all over.
Go ahead.
Okay, and just a few weeks after his acquittal, Michael Jackson is off to the Persian Gulf Kingdom of Bahrain. Oh, I can't talk today. With his 3 children and nanny, where he is staying as a guest of Sheikh Abdullah, a member of the royal family. Apparently, Michael was under a lot of stress during the 14-week trial and lost some weight, so he went on a little retreat to recuperate and find out how to pick up his life and career.
Oh, boy.
And little boys in the process. You know, I'm thinking the reason why we can't talk tonight is because I'm thinking it's just really hot in here. You know, I was the one who turned this thing up. It should have been like 62 degrees in here. Usually when it's cold, we don't slur.
No, I'm here with
It's like,
freaking Sean. Like
it is
winter
warm in here
gear.
now, by the way. Go ahead.
Okay, and it seems as if Katie Holmes is one of Tom Cruise's only female fans nowadays. Brooke Shields didn't particularly appreciate Cruise's decision to single her out on the Today Show, outlashing against her support of drugs to treat postpartum depression, saying that she doesn't understand the history of psychiatry. Well, since then, Shields wrote a little article for the New York Times stating comments like, "Those made by Tom Cruise are a disservice to mothers everywhere." She had suffered from the illness after the birth of her daughter in 2003 and was at her lowest until she took medication. After Cruise's appearance on the Today Show, others have spoken out against his remarks. New Jersey's governor, whose wife endured the depression, thinks that Tom Cruise should just stick to acting and not talk about women who need help. Marie Osmond told People magazine that when Tom becomes a woman and has a baby and has postpartum, then he can become an expert.
I can't stand Cruise anymore.
It's time that him and Katie Holmes disappeared back into the woodwork.
It sickens me.
They polled actually 100 people in New York City, and like they all are against. They're like Tom Cruise. Like what's going on here?
Basically, he's the party guest that overstayed his welcome.
Yeah, he's just.
Send him home.
I'm sick of reporting around him. All right, if anything happens to Tom Cruise ever again, I'm just not going to report it. Unless
it's a plane crash, then report it. Otherwise, please don't.
Oh man, jeez.
Go ahead.
And our last story, a new addition to the Jolie family, and it's not Brad Pitt. Angelina and Maddox recently welcomed orphan baby girl Zahara Marley into the family. The baby is from Ethiopia and had been orphaned by AIDS. Brad Pitt was reportedly with Jolie for her last visit to the country, however, has nothing to do with the adoption. Angelina has adopted as a single mother.
That's actually nice.
Yes.
That's somebody
She's
doing
come a long
nice.
way in a couple of years from making out with her brother.
Before we go, a couple of quick things. Thank you, darling.
No problem.
Good. And, by the way, we had to get to that story about parental love. Let me just get to it very quickly. In Nashville, Tennessee, a couple pleaded guilty Thursday to hiring a stripper for their son's 16th birthday party.
Oh, my.
They were sentenced to 2 years probation. This is called parental love.
Where were these parents when I was 16?
I know. No. I mean, come on, Dan, you're digging that as a guy.
Yeah, I wish my parents would have done that.
Exactly.
That's messed up.
The parents,
be doing that.
Landon and Annette Farris, were charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor, were also ordered to take parenting classes. The parents hired the stripper to perform at a September party attended by about a dozen young people. Cassandra Joyce Park, 29, who police said used the stage name Sassy, danced for a few hours before partygoers took up a collection and paid her $150 more to fully disrobe. The stripper and the man she was with were also granted probation. Now, that was a bunch of smart kids, too, man, to collect some money. I'm telling you, Dad had to be behind that. I don't think it was the kid.
I'm telling you, if my kid went to that party, I would be P.O.
And what I find very, very upsetting is that police were tipped off to the party by a photo developer at a drugstore who saw pictures of the occasion.
Yeah, basically, from what I'm reading here is that this all started because one of the pictures shows him smoking pot. And that's what triggered this all off, is some guy... That's why you got to trust. You got to make sure the person you can trust who's developing your film.
That's unbelievable.
I guess so. Or just make a little thing in your basement.
Go, make sure that anybody who has kind of these parties, I mean, we don't condone them, but if you're going to do it and take pictures, you know what? Make sure you go to somebody that there's a guy developing the pictures. Buy a digital camera is right. Before we say goodbye, Betty from Connecticut, you have the last word on Velocity. What's going on?
Hello. I would just like to say that I love your show.
Oh, thank you very much.
I live in Stratford, Connecticut, and we can hear you so clearly.
Wow, thank you very much. The signal must be jacked up tonight.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, thank you very much. We love to hear that, so keep listening. Give us a call anytime you want.
Okay.
All right?
Bye,
have a good
Thank
night.
you.
All right.
Bye.
That was a nice way to end the show tonight.
Definitely.
So what are you guys up to for the weekend? Very quickly. Carrie, what are you up to?
Oh, my parents are leaving, so I'm throwing a party tomorrow night.
Uh-oh.
All my friends listening.
Well, they just turned around and started driving back home.
Parents just said.
I told them. My mom's like, no. But then she whatever.
Oh, my God. Party this weekend.
I'm going to be old and spend the weekend with Metamucil.
And listen,
John,
guys
come
from
on.
Cancun
You're talking about beating a dead horse.
Town.
You're kidding.
Guys from Cancun are in town from Ohio.
The guys that were there?
Yeah,
Man,
guys
are they staying in all week? If they're staying in all week, we should get everybody together next week in this one studio, your friends and them.
Oh, no, they're here this weekend.
Darn, you should have let me know sooner. Dan, what are you up to?
Yeah.
My parents are actually going away too, but I'm not doing anything fun. I'm working.
Me, on the other hand, I will be at beautiful Belmont Park tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
I'd rather spend my day with some horses. Yeah.
Sunday's a day to go to the track.
Boring.
You know that.
Boring.
Not so boring, man. My family's going, and they usually bring a guy with them who's got like the intelligence of a 7-year-old, and it's funny, so it's a lot of fun.
That's
Sunday,
not nice.
Sunday will be a good day to go to the track. It's been cool.
Yeah, but you know what? If they're going to go tomorrow, they're going to go tomorrow. I'm waiting to get the email from my uncle. So, Uncle Joe, if you're listening over there in Belmore, please let me know if we're going tomorrow.
I'll be home fixing the pool.
Oh, you don't even know if you're going?
Well, because it's like a last-minute thing with them, so I don't know what they do. 1 minute we're going, the next minute we're not. It's a family thing. I'm going anyway. I don't care.
I got a reprieve. I mean, there's nobody home in my house.
Money's burned a hole in my pocket. No.
I wish I got paid.
Dan, bring in the music. Bring in the music, brother.
Yeah, we're going home.
We're going home. It's time to go home. See? Carrie's going to dance with me.
Who's this?
Don't get jealous, Uncle Rich.
Don't shrug your shoulders. Who is this?
Who's saying this, Dan?
I don't know. I was going to try to make up
a
name, but I couldn't.
John doesn't even know.
Oh, I know this
sounds
song.
like
I don't
Julio
know.
Iglesias or something.
It is not Julio Iglesias. Didn't the Drifter sing this? The Drifter sang this. Save the Last Dance for Me. Oh, I know that the music's fine. Come on, John, sing along.
I'm not even going to go.
All right. American Idol, I'm not. Good night from Velocity Live. And we will see you next week. Remember, our guest next week is Christina Gray. We're going to have some fun with her. She's cool. So, good night.